सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Amrita. We were seeing as to how the preparations for the great Mahabharat war was going on between the Pandavas and Kauravas. Before we carry on with today's video, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then please do subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'll leave the handle down in the description box. Now, in our previous episodes, we have seen as to how the Pandavas went in exile, and then when they came back and sent Krishna as their messenger for peace, the Kauravas did not agree and hence declared a war between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. Now the war was officially declared. So all the preparations for the war from both the sides were going on very vigorously. Each of them went to their respective kings, the kings that they were close to, and started asking for their help and the alliance in which they would build up to form a huge army. A lot of kings supported the Pandavas, a lot of kings supported the Kauravas, but mainly Bhishmacharya, Dronacharya, Kripacharya and all the great well-versed warriors were on the side of the Kauravas, not because they supported Kauravas, but as the people of Hastinapur, as the major rulers and the most important people in the city of Hastinapur, it was their duty to protect the city when it came to a war. As a Kshatriya, it was their duty to protect their kingdom. So they were unwillingly on the side of Kauravas, knowing that the dharma and the truth prevailed in the hands of Pandavas, but unwillingly they had to support the Kauravas. Now, on which side would Lord Krishna be? Both of them wanted Krishna. Arjuna was very, very close to Krishna. Arjuna completely trusted Krishna, loved him so much that he wanted Krishna to be with him. Krishna was the king of Dwaraka. So, Dwaraka had a very, very huge army, and of course, Duryodhana wanted Krishna's support, wanted Krishna's army so that he could win against the Pandavas. Now, in Dwaraka, Krishna is relaxing and lying down on his throne. Now first, Duryodhana comes inside the hall and sees Krishna lying down. Of course, since he was pretending to be asleep, Duryodhana decides to wait for Krishna to wake up. There was a nice cozy seat that was present on the head of Krishna. The Lord was lying this way, where the head was here and the leg was here. There was a very, very comfortable and a cozy seat there. So Duryodhana went and sat right there. Now, at the same time, not knowing that Duryodhana is present there, Arjuna came to the hall and saw that Krishna was lying, and he also saw that Duryodhana was waiting for him. He went and sat near the legs of the Lord and waited for Krishna to wake up there. Now, when Krishna woke up, as he's sleeping this way, his first sight would be at Arjuna. So when Krishna saw, he first saw Arjuna and thought, oh Arjuna, and asked Arjuna as to what was the purpose of his visit. That is when Duryodhana started talking that I came before him, Krishna. So, my purpose should be fulfilled first and then you should talk to Arjuna. That is when Krishna even looked this side and noted that Duryodhana had come. Definitely the Lord, being the ultimate supreme Lord, he knew the reason as to why Duryodhana and Arjuna had come to him. But he pretended, he smiled and he was like, okay, what is the purpose of you two visiting me together? They had not planned on coming together, but it coincidentally happened. Both of them, when asked separately, both of them told that they had come to ask Krishna for the help for the preparations of the war. Now Krishna gave them two options. He said it was good that both of them had come together so that they could discuss and make a decision. So he offered them two choices where each one of them had to choose one choice. One was that Krishna would be on one side of the army where he would not touch even a single weapon, but he would be present with them and his support would be for them. And the other army could have all the great warriors, the elephants, the horses and all the other warriors, soldiers of the city of Dwaraka. Now, since as soon as Krishna woke up, he saw Arjuna first, so he first asked Arjuna as to what his choice was, and the remaining option would go to Duryodhana. Now, Duryodhana was irritated. He thought he came first, so he thought he deserved that Krishna would ask him first, but he could not oppose Krishna, so he was waiting for Arjuna to answer. Arjuna chose that only the Lord, only Krishna's support would be enough for him to win, and that even 100,000 soldiers or the entire army, the elephants and the horses could not be equal to the Lord. And hence Arjuna wanted Krishna, even though Krishna would come and support them without any form of weapon and without taking part in the war. Arjuna wanted Krishna on their side. Now Duryodhana laughed and he thought it was foolish of Arjuna to make such a decision, but he was happy. He was very, very happy that whatever he wanted, that he got, and that he actually wanted the entire army of Dwaraka, and he got that. He thought, what could one person, that a weaponless person, could do? So he didn't want Krishna, but he wanted the entire army of Dwaraka, and he got it. He was happy. Both Arjuna and Duryodhana were happy. So now, what do we learn from this? What do we take from this entire thing? It's not about Arjuna or Duryodhana's choice. It's about the trust. It's about how much Arjuna believed in the Lord. He thought that only the Lord is enough to protect him. That shows the amount of trust, and that shows that he had surrendered himself to the Lord. So we should also try to surrender to the Lord, given all odds, given any kind of situation, where even the situation might not be favoring us, might be against us. We should trust the Lord. We should trust that He is with us. He will do the best for us. Eventually, it will happen. That is called ultimate surrendering ourselves to the Lord. He will take care of everything. It would become His duty to take care of us. He would. I am trying to follow this as much as possible. I hope if you do, then definitely your lives will be for the better. We all know who won the Mahabharat war ultimately. It was Arjuna. It was the Pandavas, not only because they were righteous, but also that the Lord was with them. So when there is God, there has to be dharma, there has to be truth, there has to be happiness, there has to be bliss. So now it was decided that Krishna would become the charioteer of Arjuna. The other name for Krishna is also Partha Sarathi. Partha means Arjuna, Sarathi means a charioteer. So hence the charioteer of Arjuna is Krishna. The Kauravas on their side had 11 Akshonis, while the Pandavas had 7. The army formation was very different because of the number of people. The Kauravas army was almost twice as powerful as the Pandavas army. It was the morning of the first day of the war. Everything was ready, everybody were prepared, all the soldiers were there on the war ground. The war took place in Kurukshetra. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, shloka 1, Dhritarashtra refers to Kurukshetra as the Dharma Kshetra. Kurukshetra was a place which was considered to be holy, where Dharma would prevail. So the war took place in Kurukshetra. Presently, Kurukshetra is in Haryana, around 150 to 200 kilometers from New Delhi. So the war began. It was the morning. Everybody started blowing their conches. The blowing of the conch represents that the war is going to break out between the two parties. Arjuna asks Krishna, his charioteer, to take his chariot to go stand in the front so that he could have a view of the opponents and see who are all standing opposite to him. Arjuna said, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapaya Me Achyuta. O Achyuta, please take the chariot and place it in between the Senayor and Ubhayor. Senayor is our army, Ubhayor is the opponent army, so that he could have an entire view of all the opponents who are standing in front of him. Krishna, following Arjuna's orders, takes the chariot and places the chariot in the middle of the army between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. Now Arjuna sees his grandfather, his uncle, his cousins, his brothers, his relatives, his guru, everybody that he loved wholeheartedly, and he just completely breaks down in the middle of the war field. it breaks his heart to see that his opponents were his own loved ones, and he decides not to take part in the war, and that even death would be better than to killing their own family and friends. So this is where the Lord recites the Bhagavad Gita in order to advise Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita itself is not just to advise Arjuna, it is to advise the entire humanity race, entire people living in Kali Yuga, to make them understand the purpose of their life, to give rules and principles as to how to lead life. Bhagavad Gita is not just about spiritual or religious things. It's a very, very practical guide to business, to management, to every question that you ever have in your life. All the others, the Ramayana, the Mahabharat, everything is written by somebody. It is narrated as a story that happens by somebody. But Bhagavad Gita is that one thing that came out of the mouth of the Lord himself. According to me, it is one of the form of the Lord, one of the form of the entire positive energy that exists, just giving us guidance as to how to lead our lives. And we will talk more about the Bhagavad Gita in our next episode. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, comment, share it with all your friends and family. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you again next time. Until then, be good, do good always. Thank you. Bye.